Hey people, I found some good stuff. I found a couple ancient paintings that go with this song in Isaiah. This is old women doing the laundry. And it used to be a job back in the day. It wasn't just throwing your stuff in the wash and pressing a button. After you done killed the hog and boiled the lard and made burn a fire and made lye from ashes and then cooked up soap, then you had to go down the river and boil up some hot water. And you used two main tools when you were doing this. It was a bat and a vat. And in the Hebrew, the spelling of bat and vat is almost the same. The only difference is they'll put a dot here to make it a vat. This is a vat, but this is what this is talking about. The wash, W-A-S-H-I-T-E-U, the wash it to. And this is where your word battle comes from, the vat of. And I will lay it waste. No, you're going to put it in the wash and it'll be washed and renewed, the wash day. The wash it to vat of. And so the old biddies, they go out there and do the wash, and to keep their mind occupied, they would talk about all the sins that Kremlin has done in order to get the laundry dirty. They're usually doing the king's laundry. And up at the top of this, it has a saying here, and people just look at it and think, it's birds and flowers, but all these birds and flowers have a name. And it says a rose from a dog would lower. And this almost like a cherry. I'm not sure about these leaves. I hope somebody would tell me what kind of flower that is. And the owl is the ancient letter M. It means from, a rose from. And then a dogwood. And this is a lower. This is a whir. And when he stoops down, he gets lower. Various words related to the idea of something bad. Don't lower yourself to it. It's where that comes from, a lower. You can see the difference in the tail. And a rose from a dog would lower. It was a tough job. There wasn't no reason to be smiling while you were doing it. And some people might have confused it with wine making. You can see the girl lifted up her dress and she's stomping the laundry down. And that's why they've totally got this messed up into the song of the vineyard. And so there's a couple secrets to reading this. And then there's a couple more that most people didn't know. And then there's some more that I don't know. I'm working on figuring it out. But anything starts with an A reads backwards. So this is the rise or arise. And the rise, R-I, and then the S is the S-H or the S-E. And it's so arise, and then A, and then the dot and the N is two N's and an A. The rise, Anna, lie-to-die. And so this is about Anna and her sister, Ditto. And you can see here there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 men. And one of them's over here, he's fixing to kill the hog. And the colors here, they say this is a serf's clothes. And this is the crown, the crem's clothes. And so this Anna, she was the goddess, the deity of the circle of the year, where your words annum come from, annually. And her festival was on the Ides of March, spring. And so it's saying several things in here. Arise, Anna, lie did I. A lot of the kings rose up on a lie. But it's also, the rise, Anna, lie did I. I'm happy that the spring is here, lie did I. The shirt did a die. Ditto. The dot, the D means two D's. Ditto die. Of creme to. And creme is the royalty, the crown. It comes from the word cream, the French creme de la creme, the cream of the crop. The cream rises to the top, the creme. That's where the word Kremlin come from. Of the creme to curse. Final M is read as an S. Of the creme to curse I, lie to die. In friend ben, the names. You see the N with nothing under it is N-A, and then the M, the two dots in the top row give it an E, N-A-M-E, and then the S, the names, these men, E-S, these men. And so, in friend ben names the men, that's dogging, she's dogging the men. Don't lower yourself. But they out there doing the laundry and dogging the men. And so this other mark here, it has you read something else here, but it rhymes better without it. But it has you read this backwards in this way. But it's why as is few, who shuffle who, with to who surf, wiven. Why as is few, you got more than one, as is few who shuffling through the women, with to who, with is getting with it, with to who surf of the lower class women, the wiven, W-I-V-N, wiven. From Godel, M-G-D-D-L, from Godel. The Tower of Babel is always drawn as a screw, and it doesn't say anything about it in your Bible, but that's because Godel is your Arabic word for screw. The wiven from screw in tuktu, N-B-N-T-U-K, Vav connected in tuktu, and goes in pfeifen, hex in boo. In B backwards and forwards after this tack. In pfeifen. Pfeifen, Pfeiffer was the guy who played the pipe in the battle, and he would relay the commands through a pipe where everybody could hear it. And it's piping, we call it piping now, to play the pipe. In piping, in pfeifen, the hex of, boo. Into, and the whiff to lose what on vies, vios bashes, and whiff to lose what on vies, on vice, your vice, and in make from, in work from, your work. So so all this chatting, helps you lose what's on vies. Forget about what you're doing. Vios, how as bashes. How as vios, to make the eye consume is to see. What you're overseeing. The bashes. You're not bashing grapes, you're bashing laundry. And ought. Ought is your old Celtic English word for eight. It's where your word oct come from, octagon. So the 13th company is the worshipful company of dyers, the 13th. And the 8th livery is the worshipful company of haberdashers. It's an ancient merchant guild in London associated with silk and velvet trades. Something only the king is wearing. Ought is your old number 8, ought, which is also the source of the Latin and Greek octo, the 8. And ought, the make use in, the work use in. You're useless, You know, the YRUSELS, you're useless ways. You despise to. You despise to. And then the tack, as you read that backwards forwards, on a Benny. This is the word for sun. They give everything with a B and an N or a V and an N in it, the meaning of sun. This is the real word for sun, Benny. On a son of in Cremi. A son of in the Cremi, a prince. And 8, using your useless ways. You know, the princes getting around and the serfs wiving from Godel in Tuktu. In the 8 and ought, use in, make use in your useless ways. You despith to honor the son of Incremi. And then me, M-E, and then tack is backwards, T-U-S-O-L, me to soul, and the dot and the L means 2 L's, so it's lose what? Me to soul, lose what? Ode of creme, ode to the creme, ode to the creme. Will osity, you know, osity is greatness. Will osity, boo, from Ditto C. And so you could see in the picture that her sister Ditto is done married into the Kremlin from, you know, 2Ds, DDU, from Ditto C, or from Ditto of witty, lose what, and lost her wit, on vise, on in the works from, to see over bashes, and ought, hoy, do. And so this is where your word audio come from, A-U-D-I-O, the audio, and tell me, you know, the sound. And that's from people that didn't know how to read this. It's coming from the Latin, and they're reading this as audio, but it's not. It's from the 8, you know, from, and ought hoy, do, and hoy, H-O-Y, is where your word ahoy come from. A call used to greet someone or draw attention to something in a distance. You know, from the English or hoy. Hoy. And let me tell, hoy there, you know, and ought, hoy, do. And then A-N-N-A, Anna. And ought, and let me tell you, Anna, make 2 turs, T-A-T-A-R-S. It's the same number. This is the word that they never give a meaning in the Bible. And in the Hebrew, you know, it means knowledge in writings, the written knowledge. And make 2 turs, and that's where that come from. Make 2 turs, T-R-S. The tutors see. Make tutors see, and then backwards and forwards, I-N-A-N-Y, in any whose. You know, I'll screw any whose of the Cremi, has her from suck to vey, you know, to vey is to see, the vey, survey, anything with a vey means connect, E-Y-E, to connect I, the vey, lover, to see lover. Purports, that's where your word reports come from. And purports, it means a close relationship. Purports. Gag, and the dot and the G is 2 G's. Gog, gog means to lead, to gog, to gag, to lead somebody. The Gog and Magog is the lead and from lead. In the Gog, gogged her, to vey, of marms. You know, marms is the school teacher. Your marms, and that's where your word mermaid come from. The mar, the ocean, and the mar, the ocean from aid. Mermaids, they come help you out in the ocean, and they're not half fish, half women. They're stories that tell you about the stars. So when you're in the middle of the ocean, you have ocean aids, from aids, mermaids to help you find your way back home. Wash it to battle is more to lays at her. Whole summer use it. To all have is the what's the matter. Allow mother. The wash it to battle is more to lays at her. They keep putting more in their vat. In the whole, this is like WHOLE. They say it shall come up. They're looking at whole, OLE is HOLE, but this is WOLE, and it's to all life, and it means the whole, WHOA, the whole summer. Use it, USCIT, to use it. To all have is the what's, backwards, the WTS, the what's a matter. What's the matter? To allow mother. And give curse, for is the giving hand, to give curse. To give curse you, it's Siva what? UYEWETS, it's TSV. You, it's Siva what? You're the receiver of the curse. In it is role, in your role, you're playing in a play, you have a role, and so in it is role. The ways you dent to. The ways you dent to is your tooth. You dent to shows voya, VOI, a voyeur, the watch. You're getting long in the tooth is the way the old timers used to say getting old, You dent to shows voy to. Wife Willem sept. Wife Willem sept. SPPT sept. To accept. The wife will accept her role. And when them speech lets deaf. When them speech lets deaf, it falling on deaf ears. When it's off, OFE, when it's off. And to them speech lets deaf when it's off. When she goes off, they're not hearing. Quit throwing your damn laundry in the basket. So all this has another reading to it. But some people, they has different layers. And like I was showing in the audio. In the audio, some people didn't know that you had to read A words backwards. And they were reading the audio, and they really had a problem because a lot of this don't make sense. That's why they had to rewrite a new Hebrew language for people that didn't know that. And then there's a level where I'm reading here where to read the A words backwards, and words after the tack go both ways, A, N-N-A, Ana. And then this other little mark you see here comes up enough. I don't see it in a couple lines. Come up here, and so now it's the wash it too. You stop here at this mark, and it's the wash it is of wet who. The wash is of wet who. And so now it has another meaning in there, and it means it's just been washed. It's fresh. And so that gives a whole nother layer for the doctors to read. You have all these other marks that the Hebrews have no idea what they mean. The Jews don't know what they mean. And it's because you have different layers. In this one book, you have different layers of sayings. And And I'm learning fast. It won't be long. I'm going to figure out what these other marks here mean. But I'm sure that you can go back and pull out many other meanings with this. So down lower, I want to hit a couple words down here that you're going to get and like. Here's one that they call the intoxicating drink. And it's the shaker. The shaker. But we'll see it come down lower here. And it's for mixing intoxicating drink. For mixing intoxicating drink is of musk shaker. And so they got that backwards here. A musk shaker is for mixing intoxicating drink, but the intoxicating drink is of the musk. And for mixing is the shaker. And you say, oh, well, what difference does that make? Well, all the way through now, when this word comes up, they're going to say it means for mixing. It's to mix, to mingle, to produce by mixing. And they're going to say a shaker is the drink. And no, sometimes the shaker is an earthquake. And here's one of the fat ones. And the fat ones is much is, M-H-I-S. You know, the final M is a S. And nobody ever read it. Even the Latins knew the final M was a S. And so they put this word in the wrong category. And they say only fat ones 2 times. There's no other words in this category. And they put it in this other category because they're trying to totally flip the meaning of every word. This word they're saying fat here is the skinny. You know, it's what? W-A-T, what? And then backwards, forwards, N-E-B-L, nibble. What nibble? You know, N-E-B-L-H, what nibble? And then L of Ben. What nibble of Ben? What's nibbling is not fat. They're skinny. That's the skinny ones. But we'll see this other word in this same category. You know, this is HLB, and they always say it has something to do with fat or milk. But this is your word for fat right here, and we still use it today. And it's pronounced and much loving. It's here in Genesis 4:4. It should have been in that other group of words, but it's here. And M-H, much, L-V-E-N, and much loving. And so, you know, if you're in the ballroom, a guy that likes fat chicks, that's what he's going to call them. She is much loving. She's not fat, she's much loving. And of their fat, much love in it. But where it's over here in Isaiah, this is the word I was looking for. This is cadaver. Cadavers. Cadavers are dead carcasses. Cadavers. Everybody knows that. And so this is the word I found when I was searching for the devil. I was searching for more places they would put that word and give it a different meaning, and I run into this. And so I had to come read this, and that's what caused me. I always go to the top and try to read down to get a better idea of what all these words mean. And so this is whereof, W-R-O-V, whereof, covises. Covises, this is where your word caves come from. K-V-S-I-S, covises. Whereof covis, cadavers. Where in the caves, the dead bodies. And then W-H-R-V-U-T, whereof it. Is, you know, in the caves, the cadavers, whereof it. You know, whereof it. That it is the dead body, and where is in the caves. You know, whereof the caves, cadavers whereof it that are in. Much is gri jackal to. Much is gri jackal to. This is gri. This is your Latin, Spanish word for gray. And the jackal is the word for wolf. Whereof the caves where the cadavers, we've been putting the dead bodies, whereof it, where, you know, in what, whereof what, much is the gray wolves. Gray is the gray jackal. A gray jackal, a gray wolves. And wolves live in caves, cavities, where your word caves come from, between the rocks. Native to Eurasia and North America. Caves, caves. Whereof caves, cadavers. Whereof what? Much is gray jackal too. The gray jackal. IS is E in the French. Same as my name, ends with an IS. People think I'm Dennis, but it's Denny. Same as Paris is Paris. The gray jackal.
Don't forget. Hooty hoot, hooty hoot. I won't forget.
Alright, I'm gonna cut this off here. Good day.